Well, hello there, model railroad fans. Welcome to the AT, DG, and K Family Lines Railroad. Last video was number 3, I believe. We brought a cut of cars from the southeast interchange yard down here to our yard for some sorting and classifying and forwarding to wherever they need to go. So that's what we're going to start doing today. We have to select our engineer and conductor for this operation. So how I do that is I have the engineer's conductor on a sheet of paper and have them listed and have them numbered 12, 11, 10, 9, so forth. And what I do is I roll dice and see who we're gonna select. So we'll get that process started right now, and we'll roll some dice and see who we're gonna have. So I'll get the dice and roll them out here. And let's see here, we've got some numbers there. Find out. Okay, down the list, we go down the list and see our engineer for today is going to be Care. Care is going to be the engineer. So now we'll get the dice and we'll have to find out who our conductor is going to be. We'll grab them up and we'll shake them and roll them out on the table and see what we got here. And look down there, we see that the conductor, go down the list. Yeah, Memo is going to be the conductor. So we have Care as the engineer and Memo is going to be the conductor. So we'll go find them and bring them down here to the engine, and there they are. We'll get them all sorted. Now, before we start off, before we get them going, our yardmaster has asked our hostler, Dave, to pick up a coal hopper from the coaling temple, where it's empty, and we need to get rid of that. So we're going to bring that out and set it on one of our tracks down here. Okay, hostler Dave's got the instructions. He pulls out. Make sure the switches are all lined up, and he'll pull that hopper out, and we'll back it down onto one of our tracks, whichever one they suggest we pull it onto. Now you see that jump. I bumped the camera, and of course the camera kept going, and I got it started again, and those things happen. Okay, we're going to check it out here. This coal hopper goes back to in Chicago area, going back to Chicago yard, so it's going to go on the north track. So get the switches lined up, and we'll move that hopper into the north track. And I'll bring him back and tell him how far back to come, and then she'll reach over and uncouple that car from the engine. Hairy arm there, Memo. So we got that done. We'll yardmaster says go ahead and pull that engine out, and we'll park it on one of the park it on the caboose track. So we'll get that done, and we'll zip ahead. So we'll pull that engine out. Got Memo and Care on the engine. Now, an engine is going to have to run all the way down the yard lead to get in behind the cars that we brought in on the arrival departure track. So we will have to run all the way down the lead, and we'll come in from the back of those cars and begin to push them forward into whichever tracks we need to be going into. So we'll get the switches lined up. We'll drive all the way down to the end and come in from the back. And here we come. We'll connect up to those cars. Now, Memo's got to get out of the engine and go hook up the air hoses, and got to fill up the air tanks in the cars. Memo will actually walk the length of that cut of cars and get to the end so she can tell Care how far to push and so forth. Okay, oh, there I bumped the camera again. It just happens. So she'll tell Care, come on back with the cars, and she's actually riding on that hopper car, bringing it on back, and they're going to stop and see exactly which track we want that to go on. Memo checks her switch list and sees that the cement hopper is going to go back over to Wampler Yard, so it's going to go north. So we'll just stick that on a northbound yard, northbound track, and we'll send that over there. So she'll tell Care to come on and push it back. She'll tell Care how far back to bring it. We'll come on back a little piece, and she'll stop. That's probably pretty good right there. We'll stop there, and she'll get off and hit the cut lever, uncouple those cars, and she'll tell her to pull forward. And of course, now I'll hop on in the last car there. She's riding that out. And she checks over her switch list, and she realizes that orange CSX boxcar is in the wrong spot. It shouldn't have come over here at all. It's supposed to go to its home yard in Jacksonville, Florida. So we'll have to pull that out, and we're going to put that on a track that we'll go back to the south yard. We'll send that back to the next train we have going back to the southeast yard and be forwarded back down to Jacksonville, get back to its home yard. Those things happen in real life as well as on a model railroad. So Mamo checks over our switch list and sees we have an L&N car that's full of soybeans, bushel bags of soybeans. Got to go to Tagma Transportation, so we will get that and we'll set that on a track for local delivery. We'll have a local train go out and deliver that thing. So Mamo has the CSX boxcar broken loose and tells Kara to pull forward, and we'll get ready to spot those cars, that boxcar, on the track for local delivery. So Mamo simply walks over to the track, tells Kara to go ahead and pull forward, and she walks over to the track that the car is going to go on, make sure the switches are aligned, and tells Kara to back on back, and tells her how much further to go, and that's good. She'll connect up the air hoses there, and then she notices that the flat car also needs to go, so tells Kara to come on, push it on back. And now Mamo will disconnect the flat car from the boxcar and tells Kara then to pull forward. As Kara pulls that boxcar forward, Mamo checks her list and realizes that that car is going to go to the east, so we'll go ahead and back that back down and put that with the CXX car that's going to go south. So it's going to go to the southeast interchange track. So that's 2 cars we got to go. So we'll get a few more cars before we make up a train and head over to the south yard. So she'll tell Kara to come on and back that boxcar back. And that's good. And Kara will walk over and disconnect that car from the engine. Hairy arm again. And that's going to be just about our work for the day. We don't have any more cars to sort. So Kara will pull the engine with Mamo, and they'll go up to the yard office and see what other work they have to do. In the meantime, I want to thank you for watching. Come back and join us again on the AT, DG, and K.